Hello. So today we are speaking of using artificial intelligence for qualitative research. My name is Anne-Marie Brown, and I'm joined by Dr. Philip Du, who is an expert on the matter. So to kick us off, Dr. Adu, like you have been speaking about the use of AI for qualitative research for quite some
Mhm.
time, for more than a year, I believe, right? So,
Yes.
what are some of the changes that you have seen in terms of the software in the last year and a half?
Yeah, I think there has been a dramatic change in terms of performance, right? Long ago, like a year or two, when you ask a system a question, you may get general information. But now I think if you give a very good context, you get a rich information from the system, especially when you are analyzing your qualitative data. And it has also improved in terms of numbers. Now you'll be able to um, put your data, quantitative data, into the system and ask the system to run the analysis for you and then get the result. And it's becoming more accurate in terms of numbers. Especially ChatGPT and also Claude AI. They are performing very well. I think as time goes on, they continue to improve, and also researchers and practitioners are now feeling comfortable using some of the tools and trying to think about how some of them can help them to, complete a task. And I think that we, as researchers, have to, explore and see which one will be best for us, and then we use it to improve our work. So,
Yes, yes. So, if you are just joining us, we are speaking about how AI, the software, have changed in the last year and a half. So we would like to know, hear from you a bit. So if you could just put in the chat, whichever platform you're on, where you're based, and also what changes have you noticed in the AI models, right? As Dr. Adu mentioned, the outputs are becoming less generic. And I remember I used to tell persons, do not use ChatGPT for numbers. ChatGPT is no good at numbers. But surprisingly now, you can use ChatGPT for even quantitative data analysis. And a few months ago, it was ChatGPT 3. Now we have ChatGPT 4.0.
oh yeah,
Cloud.ai wasn't available where I
yes.
was.
It's so amazing how there's so much improvement in terms of how the software is helping us to complete our tasks. And I think there's a concept called retrieval augmented generation. We call it RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So what is happening is that normally AI tools, is a language model. They are good in language, but they are not generally good in numbers. So what they are doing, the system they have done is that they have connected some programming tools to that, like Python, that will be good in coding and also doing numbers. So whenever you ask the system, maybe ChatGPT, can you run this analysis for me? Maybe create a mean, or develop standard deviation, or what is the correlation between these two variables? The system communicate with a programming tool like Python, run the code and get all the answers, and then it provides you that information. So you see how it, we can call it the program is outsourcing, right? If it cannot perform, it's connect to other tools so that you'll be able to get what you want. And that's where we have reached concerning numbers and being able to improve in terms of statistics and also doing quantitative analysis.
Quite a leap. So I see here in the chat, we're joined by Mustafa and also by Vasa, based in Finland. Welcome. And I see Malahat here from DC. Thank you for being with us. And from Telda. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Telda from France, right? How is it going there with the Olympics and everything, right? So Telda says if it wasn't for Otter.ai, I couldn't do qualitative. Marry that to Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and I'm a genius. You
Yeah,
know,
and I think you hear this information or this post or view all the time, the AI tool has really empowered us. For me, for example, I'm very good in qualitative analysis and qualitative research, but not all that good in quantitative. But because of these tools, now I can perform complex quantitative analysis. So it's really empowering me as if like I'm now an expert, right? So you see how powerful these tools you can, if you use it well, it can help you to accomplish a task, and you feel like, wow, I don't have to consult an expert, right? I can just have interaction with the system and get what I want. Especially qualitative analysis, you can just put your data in and ask the system question, develop codes, extract significant information to address my research question. Can you develop a table? Can you develop word cloud? The system can do that for you. So it's like, wow, how empowered we are in this AI world if you use it all the time and use it in your workplace.
Well, Dr. Adu, I'm going to be devil's advocate
Yes.
because you say, okay, quantitative data analysis wasn't your strength, mine neither, right? But
Mhm.
with the use of AI, just like Telda, who is now a genius with it, I'm being devil's advocate. Do we need people with doctorates anymore and PhD? So persons like you know,
Mhm.
all your years of education, getting a doctorate. I mean, with AI, anyone can do it. Is a doctorate still relevant?
Yeah, I think you always need some kind of foundational knowledge, right? It's the same thing as using AI to do your statistical analysis, right? You should have basic understanding of statistics. How will you know whether the analysis the system is providing to you is the right analysis, right? So getting basic understanding is so important, right? So that's why we always say AI is not going to replace any human beings, but it's going to also enhance our work. So PhD, yes, it's needed because you need to get a skill in identifying a problem, looking into the literature, and trying to develop a gap and develop research question, collect your data, analyze and present your finding in a meaningful way. All these steps are needed. But imagine you have AI on top of that, looking for specific literature for your study. You don't have to spend so much time. With AI, you can easily get relevant articles and then do the analysis and then come up with gaps and then do your research. So I think that it's making our work very easy. It reduces the stress, and also we are becoming more efficient in what we do. So yes, PhD is very important.
So
You
that's
have
a
to get the
takeaway.
doctorate.
But still, the doctorate is and the PhD is still of value. Okay.
Yes.
So welcome, Fatiha, from Columbus and Ohio, and also Kingsley from Ghana. And Malahat had a question, right? If you could comment on language, can you comment on language for document translations? Would
Mhm.
this be acceptable for doctoral research when working with diverse communities?
Yeah, in terms of language translation, I think that this is where the custom AI tools are very important. So, one example is that using ChatGPT to try to translate, you may not get very rich information because it gives you the general translate. It doesn't take into consideration diversity and culture. So, one thing that you have to do is that, is there any tool that has been trained with these kinds of information so that you can use? So I think there's more about identifying a specific AI tool that has been trained concerning this kind of translation, and then you can use it. And there are a lot of translation tools, AI tools that you can explore and see. If you want to use ChatGPT, I think what you have to do is to be very specific about the context, right? Where is this information coming from, which country, what is their culture like, so that the system will understand before it will really do the translation for you. So I think looking for a customized one will be the best way. Yes.
Okay, all right, great. I see some familiar faces in the chat. Al Habib in Nairobi, welcome. Thank you for joining us. follow your content a lot on LinkedIn. So thank you for being here today. And I see Paco Sanchez from Spain. So thank you for joining. And also, Dr. Ado, I see persons are agreeing with you that a PhD, there's still need for it, right? So
Hmm.
the consensus is that yes, we need a PhD. Still, it's not going to replace academic credentials.
Hmm.
Okay, and Alberto in Italy is also joining us. Okay, so we have spoken about how the AI models have advanced or transformed,
Hmm.
change over the last year. We speak about new models coming out and also Claude AI being where I am. I couldn't access it months ago. But has there also been changes in how we are using the users of AI versus how persons are using AI now, researchers, versus a year ago, in your opinion?
Yes, I think now, researchers and practitioners are now becoming feeling comfortable. Those who are not even comfortable trying to get ideas about, okay, what is in for me, right? And asking questions. And I think it has sparked a lot of conversation concerning, okay, which aspect of my research should I use AI, right? Am I going to? How do I cite the source? Should I tell people that I use AI to do my analysis, right? So these are the questions that people are asking, and also in terms of software, a couple of AI, a couple of the qualitative analysis tools like In Vivo, Atlas TI, um, um, MassQDA, all of them are incorporating AI into their software so that you have an option to use it. You have, it's not like the AI will do all of the things for you, but you have an option to develop. So I think that a lot of people are now feeling comfortable, and some people also are skeptical. And it's always good to be skeptical because this is what you are helping us to do. You are helping us to make sure that we are using the tool in a way that is proper, right?
Mhm.
So continuously questioning the quality, the efficiency of using the AI tools is very important. It calls us to rethink and try to use in a way that is ethical and also transparent. And I think that in terms of data analysis, especially qualitative data analysis, if you see the tool as a data analysis tool, and then you show how you interact with the system, being transparent, and then you cite the source, I think you'll be fine. So it's all about being transparent and also showing that you are leading the analysis, not the system doing things for you. You have to question, right? What mechanism did you put in place to make sure that the findings or the theme that you have developed reflect what participants are saying? Did you ask the system to reflect? Did you ask the system to evaluate the codes and the themes? Did you ask the system to extract significant information to connect to the themes?
Mhm.
These are the things that you always have to think about. You always have to be skeptical about the information that you are receiving from AI too, so that you'll be able to get the rich information from the system.
Very interesting. But practically, how do you cite when you have used AI? I know contexts differ and institutions have different rules and regulations, but what is a good practice you would advise if we want to cite from an AI source?
Yeah, so I'm trying to follow the APA recommendation, right? So when one example is that when you use it as a data analysis, I think it makes sense when you develop themes from the system, you can cite, right? You cite by indicating the software and also the year of the software. Sometimes you can also indicate the model, like is it GPT-4o or GPT-3 that you use, and also, you can also put the conversation, if you have space, you put the conversation in the appendix so that people will see the kind of question you ask the system and the response that you got. In terms of generating ideas, you don't have to cite because it's the same thing as talking to an expert. You meet an expert and have conversation and gives you ideas, right? But if you are copy and pasting, then you have to do a quotation mark there and then cite the source. So it also differs from department or institution by institution. So you have to check your institution and see the requirement. And I think because AI is new, we are all new in terms of what is the proper or what is the best practice. So we are learning from each other. So you can also any of our audience can also give ideas about what they are doing to cite the source, right? But I think at the end of the day, being honest and being transparent, I think is the best way to go, right? Um, I don't like the idea of, oh, how can I use a system so that I'm not going to be caught, right? What about how can I use the system in a transparent way so that it will improve the work that I'm doing, right? I think that is the conversation that we really have to have, right? So
So, in
thank you.
other words, I can't copy and paste. Is it wrong? Because I use
It
GPT
depends.
daily. Yeah.
It depends on what you are doing, right? If you are doing qualitative analysis and the system has developed themes for you, yes, you can copy the themes and paste, but you are going to indicate that I got these themes from ChatGPT or Cloud AI, right? And also you can provide a conversation. But if you are writing, maybe you're doing a literature review, and then you put your articles in the system went through and generates a review for you, you shouldn't copy and paste, right? You can learn and read about what the information and then write things in your own words instead of copying and pasting. I think that would not be the best practice.
Okay. And I got a takeaway as well that, like, the prompts. So, prompts are questions you ask the AI.
Mhm,
If you can have that in the annex, so it's clear what prompts you use to get the out.
mhm.
Okay, fair enough. Now, moving on now to AI tools. In your opinion, are the best AI tools right now for qualitative data analysis or qualitative research?
Yeah, for data analysis, I think that ChatGPT 4.0 is doing a very fantastic job. Not all, they are not all that perfect, but I think that it all depends on the question that you ask the system, right? Imagine that you have met an expert. You cannot just say that, okay, expert, this is my problem, solve it for me. You have to provide the expert background information, provide a system good context. What is your study about? How was the data collected? How many participants do you have? Any background information will help the system to customize the response, right? So sometimes the AI is good, but if the question that you are asking the system is not clear, it's not all that direct, then you can get maybe general responses. So ChatGPT is very good. Cloud AI is also very good for researchers, right? You can explore that. Apart from that, for qualitative analysis, the tools like Atlas CI, they have a function within Atlas CI, you call it intentional AI coding. I really like this function because, like ChatGPT, you put in the purpose of your study, right? And the system generates research questions for you, or you can even suggest the research question that you want the system to use. Then, based on the research question, the system goes through your transcript, identify information that are significant, extract themes or codes for you, and put them under the respective research question, right? And then you get your result, and you have the ability to also review and take some of the codes out or change some of the wording of the code. So that kind of working is like co-piloting, working together with the system to get to your destination is very good. Mastudia is also doing that. In Vivo is about to introduce AI into their system. I think it will come this month. So in terms of data analysis, that's very good. For ChatGPT can also be used to generate interview questions, right? Let's say you are not sure about the question that you want to ask participants. You can ask the system, I'm doing this study. This is my research question. This is my maybe conceptual framework. Can you suggest some of the questions that I should ask participants? And this is the profile of some of the participants. And then you can get some examples. So it's in many ways you can use depending on the task that you want to complete. You can use AI too. I always say that just explore and see which one will help you to accomplish your task, and use it. And but you have to be very careful about the AI tools that you have to use in terms of privacy and other things that you have to think about.
Okay, which we're coming to in later on in the discussion. And I recommend testing out these different AI models that Dr. Adu mentioned. Personally, I use ChatGPT and Claude.ai, and I find that sometimes ChatGPT handles the prompt better than Claude.ai. So I use at least two, right? So at this point, I think it would be nice, Dr. Adu, maybe to invite persons into the discussion. I see the chat has been active. So if you have a question for Dr. Adu, you can join the conversation. We'll be sharing a QR code shortly, and it's also in the chat. So if you're screen ready, wherever you are, you will come up on our screen as well to verbally make a comment or to ask a question. So I see,
Hmm.
yes, Ed. Ed is asking, will the recording be available later? Depending on where you're streaming from, there will
Hmm.
be a recording either on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook when this event ends. So, welcome to persons. If you're just joining us, we are discussing the role of artificial intelligence for qualitative research and qualitative data analysis. There is a QR code for anyone that wants to come on stage with us, ask a question, or to make a comment. You're more than welcome. Scan the QR code, or it's in the chat. You can click the link and join us. All right. So here's some question from Tony. Tony asks, for coding interviews and data analysis, what is your recommendation for AI tools besides NVivo?
Um, I think, as I said, you can use ChatGPT to do the data analysis. You can also use Claude AI. If I have to choose in between ChatGPT and Claude AI for qualitative analysis, I would choose Claude. But if you don't have access to that, you can use ChatGPT because it's very also good, right? It all depends on the questions that you ask the system. So when you go to my YouTube channel, I have a lot of videos on how to use AI to do the data analysis. You can try that and see which one will be useful for you. And I can quickly share if I have to. Let me see what I can share the second screen. So this is my YouTube channel. So when you go to videos, there's a lot of videos on GP. I think if you go to playlist, I have a lot on ChatGPT and Plus Research. You can click on it and watch any of the videos that is there. That will be useful for you. So, yes, you can use ChatGPT. You can use Cloud AI. There are other tools. As I said, you can also use Atlas TI. It has incorporated Open AI model GPT-4o into their system, so you can, as if you are using ChatGPT, you can still use ChatGPT within Atlas TI, right? So there are a lot of options for you. Sometimes you just have to explore and see which one it will be the best. But it all depends on the prompt, the kind of question that you ask the system, and also document the process because people are going to ask you, how did you arrive at the themes, right? You should show the process, how you did it. And the themes, you also have to make sure that they are representing the significant information and addressing the research question. You have to review. So use the AI as like an assistant, and you are supervising the assistant. The information that it brings, you have to review and make sure that everything is fine. Sometimes you can use two AI tools and see the results and compare, right? And see which one will be the best. So it's all about exploring and looking at. But I think that Cloud AI or ChatGPT will be the best way. And I
Fantastic.
want to. Oh,
Mhm.
oh, go ahead.
Yes, yes. Go ahead and share.
Yes, I want to share something about. Um, I developed a chat um, custom GPT and a chat GPT that will help you to come up with interview questions All right. So if you tell the system that, okay, this is the purpose of my study, right? Let's copy the purpose on the research question from here. And then you can see that with this tool under ChatGPT called Qualitative Inquiry Guide, the system will be able to generate interview questions for you. So you can say, can you generate interview questions for me, right? Um, and then you put your purpose on study and also the research question and see. So the system will go through and then it will generate 15 questions for you, right? So you see how it's not going to be perfect. You just have to review and make sure that everything is right, but see how the system can generate interview question. It has been trained that it should give you open-ended question. It should give you one question at a time, simple questions that you can ask participants. And if you are not satisfied, you can ask the system to refine the questions or maybe based on the conceptual framework. So yes, it's possible for you to do that. I've put a link in the chat box, or when you go to um, it's sometimes difficult to. Okay, so what I will do is that I'll go to, when we finish this conversation, I'll put a link in the comment section so that you can get access to this one. So
Okay, great. So, I don't know if there's anyone in the queue lined up. I saw a few persons scanning the QR code.
yeah, I've seen 4 people, but they haven't shown up yet.
Okay, all right.
Um,
Remember, guys, there's still time to join us. Scan the code, click on the link, and come on board. In the meantime, Al Habib has a question, and that is: are there any resources that teaches you how to write proper prompts and the different type of prompts? And please
yeah,
define what a prompt is for persons who might not know.
okay, so the prompts are the questions that you ask the system, right? And I've done a lot of videos on how to develop a very good prompt, right? But the basic principle is that you have to be direct, you have to be clear about what the system has to ask you. I think about CEO. C means that providing a context, right? Provide the system background information. So let's say you want a system to give you ideas about maybe topics or give you ideas about the methodology that you have to use for your study, right? You have to give a little bit of background, right? So, and then E stand for giving examples. One example that I gave here is that, let's say you want a system to develop themes for you. You can give examples of the kinds of themes that you want, and based on that, to be able to analyze, or you will be able to get rich information for the system. So looking at some of my videos will be helpful, but you have to be clear. You have to give examples, if any, and you have to also specify the output. What kind of output do you want? Do you want the system to give you in the table form, or in a bulletin form, or in within 120 words? You have to provide that, and the system will help you. I think we have someone here.
Yeah,
Great.
hello.
Mhm.
Hello.
Before you proceed, Dr. Adu, could you take off the QR code so that we can see Osai? Is it Osai
Yes.
or Osei?
Yes, as I say.
I'll say
Okay,
yes.
Osei. Go ahead, Osei.
Okay, so my name is Michael Osei from Ghana. I'm at Western Michigan University.
Hmm.
It's an evaluation center. Yes. Thank you so much, Doc, for all the knowledge that you are sharing with us.
You're welcome.
I've been following you for a while,
Oh,
and I'm very proud of you for my countryman doing so many things for research and also helping humanity. So, as an early scholar, I have taken a lot of inspirations from you, and I'm very much interested in AI. So, I will continue to contact you for more inspiration. Thank you so much. Yeah.
thank you. I really appreciate your support and also following my work. And thank you so much. And let's continue to have conversation. And thank you for attending. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Medase.
Yeah, that's what that's bad. So me joining for my computer, so then
Okay,
I'm free from
yo.
now.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so nice. You're getting
Yes.
love from Ghana.
Yes, from Ghana.
Ah, that was
Amazing.
so very nice. So, guys, feel
Mm,
free as well. I like that it was good to just give words of support. So even if it's not a question, it's still nice to take the stage to show some appreciation. So, thanks very much for that. So, I have a
mhm.
question from Tony, and that is if we had multiple interviews, do you recommend coding them individually with AI, or is there a way to do them all at once?
Yes, you can do them all at once because what you're doing is that, when it comes to qualitative analysis, it's all about data reduction. Technically, you are summarizing what participant have given you, right? So that you come up with theme that cut across participant experience or their thoughts, right? So it makes sense to upload all of the document into the system, right? ChatGPT, if you have a paid version, you can upload up to 10. um, Cloud, you can upload more than that, right? So you just upload all the document if it allows you, and then you ask the system questions and the system will provide you. But also make sure that you have labels for the document. You can say P1, P2, P3, because when the system is doing quoting participant, they can indicate where they got the information from. Did they get it from P1 or P10, right? So always label your document in a very systematic way or clear way so that the system, when the system could quote or extract information, you know where the source will be.
All right, thank you. And we're getting a lot of positive feedback in the comment section. I see someone says very interesting discussion. Magdalene, yeah, in Ottawa, Canada, saying she's been learning a lot um, and improving knowledge, and also um, the appreciation for the information that you have been sharing. Okay, is there anyone else on the lineup to take the stage?
I don't see anyone yet.
All right. So let me go to the next question on my list then. And this is a technical question, practical question. So, say I have data.
Mhm.
What steps can I take as a researcher to prepare my qualitative data for effective analysis using AI?
Okay. So, first of all, you have to make sure that before even you prepare your data, you have to decide concerning the AI tool that you have to use, and also look at um, the privacy information and data security and see whether it's consistent with what you want. Some of the tools, they will use your data to train the model, right? In terms of using your data to train a model, there's a positive side. The more they train, the more the data, the model become good, right? So if you feel comfortable that it can use your data to train, I think that's okay, right? But you also have to think about participant information, right? Make sure that any identifiable information has been taken out, right? In terms of their names, where they are located, any kind of thing that you can cause you to know who you spoke to, you have to take them out and give them maybe P1, P2, P3, so that the system will not have information about your participant. You can also leave the demographic information, but if you think that putting demographic information into the data can cause people to know who you spoke to, then you have to take the demographic information. So this is all about data cleaning. You have to clean your data, prepare your data before you upload it into the system and ask them the system question. So it's all about, and then if you don't feel comfortable AI using your data to train their model, some of the AI tools, they have options for you to use to opt out, right? Example, ChatGPT, if you go to your account, you can tell the system, don't use my data, right? To train the model. There's a way that you can turn it off, right? So that the system will not use your data to train the model. And I always say that if the information, you think that information is sensitive, then I recommend that you shouldn't use the AI tool, especially the ones that are online. Like we are closely getting to a stage where you'll be able to download the model into your computer so that you can use it locally. We haven't reached there yet. The reason why we haven't reached there yet is that you need a lot of compute. You need a lot of your memory and your system on your computer should be large to compute, to process the model. The computers that we have right now, the PCs, is not capable of doing that. That's why we have to do it in the cloud. But as time goes on, new computers will come where you'll be able to download the model onto your computer and then run it yourself. Nobody will see the kind of information that you upload. Nobody will see the kind of questions. I think we will reach there. But now, um, if you think the data is too sensitive, then you have to be very careful uploading into the system. Right.
Okay, so all great tips. So I have an assignment for persons listening in. If you are still here and you want us to continue, write in the chat, still here, right? If we should still continue, write still here, or I'll ask one question and we close and go. Right? So we want to make the best use of your time. So if you're still here, just write still here. Okay. So while I wait to see if persons are still with us, you mentioned some of the challenges a bit and like you have to
I think, I
mitigate.
think
Oh, Joseph is
somebody
here.
is
All
trying
right.
to join us. I don't know whether the person can. Joseph, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yes. Thank
Hello?
you for joining us. Yes.
Yes. It's very interesting, and I would like to follow you so that you should learn a lot. Because after a long period of time, I've not been able to join scholars like you to to learn from people that have advanced in academia. And because of public service here in Nigeria, I've not been opportune to further my studies. So I have
Mm.
interest in starting school again. So this will refresh me and rejig me to make me ready for the tax ahead. Thank you.
You're welcome. And also, thank you for joining us. Yes, you can always follow us on LinkedIn. And you can follow Anne, and also you can follow me. And also YouTube. I have a lot of videos about research and using, especially doing a qualitative research. You have, access to a lot of my videos that will be very helpful for you. And also,
Thank you,
we
sir.
have an upcoming webinar. If you are interested in knowing more about quantitative analysis, how to use AI, we just want to give people basic understanding of how to use AI to analyze their qualitative data. So, no, quantitative data, right? So, if you are interested, you can just use the QR, take the QR code information, and then you can register. And yes, we'll be happy to provide you all the information that you need to help you to be successful in doing research.
Lovely. I'm I'm happy to see how I
Yeah.
can benefit it from that.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you, sir.
I,
Yeah.
Dr. Adu, I see a lot of still here's coming in. And one person said, still here and not leaving until the end. That's good. That's good. I'm happy you guys are all getting value. And the F doctor, your question, please retype it so it comes on the top of the pile so we can see your question. F doctor, whoever F doctor is, type your question, please, so we can see it. So I have another question here from Claude. How do you easily code in vivo a statement in an interview which could apply to multiple research questions? So, in vivo, it's slightly off topic, but can you address it here?
Can you ask the question again? Is he asking about how do you use in vivo to analyze your qualitative data, or
Code
AI? Which one?
in vivo,
Both?
not AI, in vivo to code a
Oh, okay.
statement in an
So you
interview.
are asking about how to use in vivo to, let's say you have identified a statement, right? That can address research question one and maybe research question two, right? What do? You code it for both, right? But you can change the word a little bit, right? because you always have to think about. So this is the process that you have to think about, right? When you identify the significant information, ask yourself, what is participant telling me, right? Because if without understanding, you may misquote or you may develop a theme that has nothing to do with what the person is telling you. After that, you ask yourself, which research question is this information addressing? Oh, it's addressing research question 1 and 2. Okay, so the first research question, what label or what code should I develop to address my research question at the same time representing that significant information? What about the second research question? What code should I develop to address my second research question and also representing this significant information? So it's possible for you to do that. One information can address more than one research question. It's all depend on how you frame the theme or the code addressing that question that you have.
Brilliant. So we are also answering questions on en vivo, not just AI.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adu. I have found F Doctor's question. Finally, I found it. It's, if you are using a conceptual framework, how do you
Mhm.
prompt ChatGPT to align your framework with your research and or interview questions?
So this is what I would do, right? Give you a little background information, right? So you can say that, okay, I'm doing this research about burnout among primary healthcare providers. The purpose of my study is to find out the causes and solutions of burnout from the perspective of these people. And I'm using this conceptual framework, right? When developing themes or when developing questions for me, please consider this conceptual framework. And you can even define what the framework is all about. Don't assume that they know the framework if you just give the system a name, right? If you have given the system a theory that informs your study, try to define the theory. The more questions, the more information that you give to the system, the better the result. Then, when you get the questions, you can tell the system to do self-reflections. Considering the question that you have suggested, can you review those questions and make sure that they reflect the conceptual framework that I've provided to you? So the system will review and then provide some more suggestions. So yes, it's possible for you to do that. It's all about having a clear communication with the system. I think we have someone here. Let me remove Joseph again. Or a different one. I think the same.
It's me.
Joseph? It's the same
Yes.
Joseph?
Yes. I'm the one.
Oh, okay. Okay. You went already, I think. But it's nice to
Yeah.
have you.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So sorry about that. Liz.
Okay. So Al Ahib has a question, and that is, please can you explain the ethics of using AI to do analysis and claim the authorship of the analysis?
So this is what you have to, it's a challenging topic because AI, as I said, is new in terms of using it for research, right? I think first step you have to find out from your institution what they think, right? Because it's the policies are different based on institution that you're affiliated with. One thing that I can say is that you just have to make sure that you provide a very good citation in helping you to make sure that you are very clear about what exactly the system you took from the system, right? I think that is the thing that I can think about. Maybe, and do you have any suggestion? Because when it comes to ethics, sometimes it's very difficult to explore.
Yeah, I think persons should be guided by their institution as well and their specific context, right?
Mhm,
And just like as with plagiarism, I know AI is not sentient, is not a sentient being. But think of
mhm,
AI. If AI was a human being, would you just copy somebody else's work? Well, some people do. But just as how just taking somebody's work and claiming it as your own is plagiarism, right? What AI produces to take it and pretend as if it's yours, yeah, then that is plagiarism. But
mhm,
how to cite ethically and responsibly, that should be guided by your context, your institution, your workplace policy, and also what is allowed. Maybe in some organizations, they don't even want you using AI models because of data security and concerns processes, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So, another question coming in, when it comes to AI tools for data analysis, is there a preferred tool? For example, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Elicit. And I think this question, maybe we can answer it in both ways. So let me ask you in this way, Dr. Adu. It's a question, but I'm changing up the question. What's your preferred tool for qualitative data analysis? And what are your preferred AI tools for quantitative?
Okay, so let me share my screen. I think that will be helpful for us. Before I answer that, the one that you are talking about, citation, I think when
Mhm.
you go to, if you search, right, APA, ChatGPT, you get access to this kind of information. These are the best practices in terms of citing, right? Yes. So when it comes to tools, AI tools, what you have to think about is that um, they are producing or a specific output to you, right? But the most important thing is that you have to be transparent and cite the source. Citing will solve the problem and tell people about how you got that information. I think so. This information will be very helpful for you. Um, okay, so can you repeat the question again about the second one that the person wants me to
So
talk
they were
about?
just asking about the AI tools
Oh
that
yes,
you would recommend for qualitative
yes.
data
So
analysis and for quantitative.
okay, for qualitative analysis, I'll use ChatGPT, which is GPT 4.0. That's what I will recommend. It can if you even have a quantitative data, you can still use ChatGPT, and the system will be good for you. Claude AI is very good for uh, let me Claude is both good for qualitative and quantitative, right? So if you have both qualitative data or quantitative, Claude AI can also give you. One thing I like about Claude AI for the quantitative part is that it can give you interactive um, visual representation where you can click on and it can show you visuals. You can make some adjustment to it. It has really improved in terms of the output that it provides you. So you can try this one. But if your data is purely quantitative, you can use Julius AI. Julius AI is very good for quantitative data. It does good. It does well also in qualitative, but quantitative is very good. One thing I like about this software is that it has more than one model, so you can choose that. Okay, you want ChatGPT system to run it for you, or you want Gemini, or you want Meta AI, or I think not Meta AI. We have other one, Llama AI, Llama 3 or something. So it has like about 4 or 5 models within the system where you can choose, or the system can choose for you based on the question that you ask, and then it can give you very good output in terms of visual representation. As you can see here, can give you some visual representation that will be very useful for you. So that's what I like about Julius for quantitative. So if you have quantitative data, I will choose Julius. But if you have both qualitative and quantitative, then either Claude AI or ChatGPT will be helpful for you.
Okay. And we'll be discussing, you'll be showing, having a demonstration of how to use Julius.ai at the upcoming webinar. If you could put
Yes.
back that link, Dr. Adu,
Yes.
because we have limited time today, but in a few weeks, Dr. Adu will be showing persons how to use Julius.ai and ChatGPT and other tools for quantitative data analysis. So we are right up onto time. I see there are still some questions in the chat, but here what you do. You like whichever platform you're watching from, joining from, or re-watching. Like, follow, and subscribe. That way, you're notified when we have our next free webinar where we answer some of the questions that we were not able to get to today. So there will be a part two and a part three, but you will be notified as soon as that's coming up. I see somebody's going to have a last word. Just some, can you hear us?
I think he's frozen.
Okay. So as I was saying,
But
follow, like, subscribe so you're notified when we have the next free webinar. Just some, are you with us? Can you hear us?
I think cannot
Okay.
hear us. Okay, yeah.
All right. So just have back the QR code for the quantitative data analysis webinar for persons who are interested in joining. And I think the last question I have for today, to close us off, Dr. Ado, is what, in your opinion, is the future of using AI for qualitative research? What is the next step in a couple of months? What developments do you forecast will take place?
Yeah, I think I see that in the future, it will be very easy for everybody to have their own personalized AI tools on their computer. So to address the issue of data security, right? So this means that you can easily go online and download it the same way that you had downloaded maybe Atlas TI or in Vivo. You can download it on your computer and then you can be able to interact with the system. Nobody is watching you what you are going to ask, right? And you can also have the opportunity to train your system, the model to behave the way that you want it to behave, right? Um, it will also there will be a time where, in terms of data collection, AI will be able to collect data on your behalf. So this means that it's like an agent, right? You instruct the agent, AI agent, to go to and identify people who qualify to be part of your study and then interview them based on the questions. And the interview will be more of, maybe it can be like your own voice, right? It can clone your voice and use the same thing or use other people's voice to have a conversation. And the conversation is so seamless that you will not even realize that if whether it's AI having conversation with you, right? Because when we are having normal conversation, we have some pauses there. We can use filler words. The AI can have pauses and filler words so that you will not even realize that you are talking to AI. So that's where I can see things going. And then the same way, way that now qualitative software like in Vivo, Atlas AI is generally accepted, it will reach a stage that many people will feel comfortable using AI to analyze their qualitative data. We are not there yet. This is the stage where educational stage where we are, telling people about how to use it and how to use it in an ethical way. So it will reach a stage that people will feel comfortable and then people will accept using the software. So that's what I see how AI is going to be. I'm thinking about something that maybe might not be ethical in terms of AI. Will This is a question to you, right? To all of you audience, right? Do you think that it will reach a stage where AI can generate data for you without you going to the particular participant to collect data? One example is that, let's say you give the system a profile. The participant should be 18 and above. He should have X number of years. You should have this, you have that, and have that. And the system generates, we call it synthetic data for you. Will it reach a stage where we don't have to interview people anymore because AI will give us the answers already? Will it reach a stage where maybe having conversation to participant is not needed anymore? these are the ethical question that we have to ask yourself, right? Because it takes a lot of time and energy, and also sometimes participant also may be busy, right? And not want to, all the information is so sensitive that if you interview participants, you re-traumatize them, right? So instead of re-traumatizing them, can you give the profile to AI, and AI generate the data for you, and then you analyze, and you are going to be transparent. You're going to say that this is a synthetic data and this is the result, right? Maybe in 20 years time that's how it's going to be. I don't know whether it's ethical or not, but that's what I see, because as times goes on, it's challenging the way that we do things and we see things. And I think this is what is going may happen. Um, it's a conversation we can have, right? Maybe later.
Yes, we'll definitely pick up this conversation. Al Ahib had a question that he's paying consultants and they're charging a lot of money and they use AI to generate reports. Are there ways for him to manage the situation? Al Ahib, look out for my LinkedIn post that goes live today, where I have a LinkedIn post on software that you can use to detect if it's AI content or if it was written by a human. I
Hmm.
I publish content on it on 8 tools you can use to tell if it's AI generated or human generated. So you can look out for that. Now, to everyone still here, if you made it to the end, please type in the comments, in the chat section, I made it. We are about to close off, but if you made it to the end, just type I made it. Dr. Adu, thank you so very much.
You're welcome. And I think I want to say something last based on the
Yes.
conversation that we are having. You see the reason why we have to know more about AI. If we don't know more about it, right, and somebody use AI, how are you going to detect that the person that you trust, you are giving a work to, the person used 5 seconds to finish the work and then collect the money, but the person used AI? Imagine you have no knowledge about that. So this one is an example for us to really be abreast with AI tools. We are going to lose if we don't learn more about AI. Even if you don't want to use it, just learn about it, right? So that when somebody uses it, you know that, oh, I think you use this AI. We have reached a
Exactly.
stage where somebody, yeah, when somebody do a post, I said, this one, the words that they are using, right? It's really
Exactly.
AI.
So know it if it's
Yes,
even to know your enemy, even if you don't trust AI, but know it so you can identify when other people use it so they can't
yes,
pull a fast one on you.
yes.
Okay, great to the
Okay.
end. I see a lot of persons made it to the end. Thank you for your time. Thanks for joining us. Dr. Adu, thank you so very much. I give you the last word.
Oh, I think I already said my last word. So
All
also
right.
thank you. My last word is also thank you so much. You have been so wonderful in moderating this. I really appreciate your time. So thank you.
Thanks you. Thank you too. Thanks everyone.